What if I told you there's a simple 2-minute routine that can physically reverse the weakness in your legs after 60 and dramatically improve the way you walk? Sounds surprising, right? Most people believe slower steps, shaky balance, and that little fear of stumbling are just part of aging. But the truth is far more encouraging. Researchers now know that there are specific muscles in your legs and hips that control your stability, and when you wake them up, your confidence and walking strength can return faster than you'd expect. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, and the 4 key exercises that can rebuild your leg strength and walking power safely and effectively if you're over 60. Before we jump into the exercises, though, you need to understand something important, something most people never realize until it's too late. After 60, the muscles that help you stand tall, walk smoothly, and stay steady begin to weaken quietly, not dramatically, not all at once, slowly, subtly, almost invisibly. And that slow decline is what makes everyday movements like getting out of a chair, stepping off a curb, or climbing stairs feel harder over time. But here's the hopeful part. Studies show these changes are not permanent, not even close. With the right movements, the right muscles targeted in the right way, you can rebuild strength, restore balance, and feel more stable on your feet in just a couple of minutes each day. There's just one thing to keep in mind. Not every exercise works. Some completely miss the muscles that matter most. Others can even make your balance worse if they're done incorrectly. That's why today, I'll walk you through the 4 essential exercises that directly strengthen your walking muscles, plus simple variations so anyone can do them safely. Let's get started. Exercise number 1. We're going to begin with what many experts consider the single most important movement for maintaining strong, safe mobility as you get older. It's called the single leg balance. And while it may look simple, science says it's one of the most powerful predictors of your long-term stability and independence. In fact, researchers have found something truly eye-opening. Your ability to stand on one leg for just 10 seconds gives them more information about your future fall risk and functional strength than almost any other quick test. Hard to believe, isn't it? This childhood-style movement, the same one kids do without thinking, can reveal more about your health than machines or complicated assessments. And here's why. Balance is not just about your legs. It's a full-body conversation happening every second between your brain, your inner ear, your vision, your muscles, and your nervous system. When these systems start drifting out of sync with age, your walking becomes less steady, your reaction time slows down, and the risk of losing balance increases quietly over time. But the moment you start practicing single-leg balance, something remarkable happens. Tiny stabilizer muscles around your ankles, feet, and hips, muscles you probably haven't felt in years, switch back on. Your body's internal positioning system, known as proprioception, becomes sharper, and your core starts firing automatically, helping create a strong, dependable base for every step you take. Here's how to practice it safely and correctly. Stand beside a sturdy chair or countertop. This is your safety anchor, and there is absolutely no embarrassment in using it. Start with your feet hip-width apart. Gently shift your weight onto your right leg. Then slowly lift your left foot just an inch or 2 off the ground. That's all you need. You don't earn extra points for lifting higher. Keep your standing knee relaxed, not locked. Imagine a gentle thread pulling the top of your head upward, keeping your spine tall. Now hold. Your target is anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds. If you can only manage 4 or 5 seconds at first, that's perfectly fine. You found your baseline. Make sure you breathe normally. Many people instinctively hold their breath during balance work, which actually makes it harder. Pick a spot on the wall in front of you and focus on it. This gives your brain a stable visual reference point. After your hold, lower your foot with control and switch sides. Repeat this 2 or 3 times per leg. You'll likely feel that one side is weaker or wobbles more than the other. That's completely normal, and exactly what this training helps fix. The real benefit of this exercise goes beyond stronger legs. It gives you something equally important, confidence. The confidence to walk, turn, step, and move without second-guessing yourself. And confidence, especially after 60, is one of the strongest shields against falls. Now that we've improved your stability while standing still, the next exercise builds stability while moving, and it's even more critical. Let's talk about the exercise that trains one of the most overlooked skills for safe walking. Exercise number 2, heel-to-toe walk. Have you ever watched a toddler taking their first steps? Their legs wobble, their feet spread wide apart, and every step looks like a tiny adventure. That wide stance is their body's way of learning balance for the very first time. But here's a surprising and somewhat ironic truth. As we grow older, many of us slowly drift back into that same wide, uncertain walking pattern, not because we're learning balance, but because we're quietly losing it. Maybe you've noticed it in yourself or someone you know. The steps become shorter, the feet separate wider, the pace becomes more cautious. You may start shuffling instead of walking. These small changes often go unnoticed, but over time, they signal one thing. Your balance system isn't communicating the way it used to. The heel-to-toe walk, also known as tandem walking, is one of the most effective ways to retrain this system. Neurologists use it as a powerful evaluation tool for coordination, and balance researchers rely on it in clinical studies because it challenges your stability in a way that everyday walking simply doesn't. And the science behind it is astonishing. A study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that older adults who practice heel-to-toe walking for just 2 minutes per day saw remarkable improvements, up to 40 to 45% better balance in just 4 weeks. That's not a guess. That's not an exaggeration. That's measurable, documented improvement from a movement that takes less time than boiling water for tea. So let's walk through how to do it safely. Start by finding a hallway, long room, or any clear space where you can walk in a straight line. If balance feels shaky, stand near a wall so your fingertips can glide along it for reassurance. There's no shame in touching the wall. Safety always comes first. Now imagine you're walking on a tightrope or along a narrow balance beam. Place your right heel directly in front of your left toes so the two touch lightly. No gap, no space. When you step forward, place your left heel against your right toes. Heel touching toe, step by step, slowly and deliberately. Continue this for 10 to 15 steps. Here's what makes it challenging. Your body is now balancing over a very narrow base, which forces your ankles to make tiny stabilizing corrections. Your core has to switch on automatically, and your brain must process constant sensory feedback from your feet, legs, eyes, and inner ear. It's not just an exercise. It's a total balance system reboot. Move slowly. Speed is not your goal. Precision is. Keep your head up and your gaze forward. Many people instinctively look at their feet, but that actually makes the movement harder because your visual system loses a stable horizon point. If 10 to 15 steps feel too easy, try this challenge. For the final 2 or 3 steps, gently close your eyes. Even a second or two of walking without visual input forces your body to rely on proprioception, your internal sense of where your limbs are in space. It's incredibly difficult and incredibly effective. Let's talk briefly about what's happening inside your brain. As you practice this exercise, the cerebellum, the region responsible for coordination and fine motor control, begins strengthening its neural pathways. Think of it like upgrading from a weak Wi-Fi signal to a strong one. Your brain-to-body connection becomes faster, clearer, and more reliable. And the more consistent you are, the stronger this internal network becomes. Now, the first exercise helped you build stability while standing still. This exercise trained your ability to move with precision and control. But even with great balance, there's one more piece missing, because balance alone isn't enough. In the next part, we're going to strengthen something absolutely essential, something your body relies on every single time you sit, stand, climb, or catch yourself from a fall. Stay with me. This next one is a game changer. Exercise number 3. Let me ask you something honestly. When was the last time you stood up from a chair without bracing your hands on the armrests? When was the last time you climbed a set of stairs without that quiet little sigh at the top? Or got up from the couch without shifting your body around to find momentum? If any of those moments feel familiar, don't worry. You're not alone. Most people over 60 struggle with leg strength long before they even realize what's happening. Here's the hidden truth most doctors don't say out loud. The muscles in your legs are the engines of your independence. Walking, climbing stairs, rising from the toilet, stepping off a curb, getting out of a car, all of these rely on strong quadriceps, glutes, and hamstrings. And when these muscles weaken, everything becomes harder, slowly, subtly, and silently. But there's good news. There's one exercise that rebuilds these muscles safely and effectively without needing a gym, weights, or fancy equipment. Just your own body in a few minutes. The half squat. It's simple, it's powerful, and it directly trains the exact movement pattern you rely on dozens of times a day. Here's why it matters so much. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that adults over 60 lose an average of 3% of leg strength every single year if they don't train it. By age 80, that adds up to as much as a 60% reduction, a life-changing difference. That's the gap between walking confidently or needing help just to stand up. But consistent half squats slow, stop, and even reverse that decline. They target your quads for straightening the knee, your glutes for lifting your body upward, and your hamstrings for stabilizing your hips. How to practice the half squat. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart, toes angled just slightly outward. Place your hands lightly on a countertop, table, or sturdy chair in front of you. That's not cheating. That's good training because it removes fear and lets your muscles work correctly. Now imagine a chair behind you. Shift your hips back, not down. Keep your chest lifted and your back straight. Bend your knees and lower your body only halfway, about 6 to 8 inches. This is crucial. You don't need to drop low. Pause for a moment at the bottom, then press firmly through your heels and rise back up. At the top, gently squeeze your glutes. That's 1 repetition. Start with 5 to 8 reps. Rest for 30 seconds. Repeat for 2 more sets. A few critical form tips. Keep your weight in your heels, not your toes. Keep your knees slightly outward. Never collapse inward. Don't hold your breath. Exhale as you stand. Don't rush. Slow squats build far more strength than fast ones. If the movement feels too difficult, reduce the depth. If it feels too easy, slow down the lowering phase to 3 full seconds. This small change increases muscle activation dramatically. Within 2 weeks, you'll notice everyday tasks becoming easier. Standing up won't require warming up. Stairs won't feel like a workout. And reaching down to pick something off the floor won't trigger that anxious moment of, can I get back up? But strength is only one side of the equation. There's another part of your lower body that almost everyone ignores, yet directly affects your stability, your walking pattern, and even the smoothness of your steps. And the best part? You can train it without standing, without equipment, and without stressing your joints. Let's move into that next, because it ties everything together in a way most people never realize. Exercise number 4, seated leg raise. There's a part of your body quietly losing strength every year, and most people never think about it until they start tripping more often or feeling unsteady while walking. I'm talking about your hip flexors, the muscles at the front of your hips responsible for lifting your legs with every step you take. And here's the surprising part. These muscles weaken faster than almost any other lower body muscle group, especially if you spend a lot of your day sitting. As hip flexors weaken, your steps get shorter, your feet drag more, and your overall gait becomes less smooth. That's why many adults over 60 start shuffling without even realizing it. They're not being careful. Their muscles simply can't lift their leg the way they used to. The seated leg raise changes that quickly, safely, and without any strain on your joints. It strengthens your hip flexors while also waking up your lower core and improving your brain's ability to coordinate your leg movements. And the best part? You can do it while watching TV, during a phone call, or even right after breakfast. How to practice the seated leg raise. Sit tall in a sturdy chair with your back straight and your feet planted flat on the floor. Place your hands gently on the sides of the chair. Now engage your core, not by sucking in your stomach, but by bracing lightly, as if someone is about to poke your belly. Straighten your right knee and slowly lift your right leg off the ground. Aim to bring it up until it's level with the floor, or as high as you can comfortably go. No straining. Feel the front of your hip working. Hold the top position for 2 or 3 seconds. This brief pause is where the magic happens. It forces those hip flexor muscles to fire and strengthens the mind-muscle connection. Then lower your legs slowly back down. Don't drop it. The lowering phase is just as important as the lift because it builds control and stability. That's 1 repetition. Repeat 8 to 12 times, then switch to your left leg. If you want a bit more challenge, flex your toes upward toward your shin as you lift. This activates the muscles along the front of your lower leg, increasing the demand. Or hold the top position for 5 seconds instead of 2. And when you're truly ready, try lifting both legs at once. This is significantly harder and demands strong core engagement, so only attempt it when single leg raises feel easy. Why this matters. Strong hip flexors don't just help you walk better. They help you lift your feet higher, avoid tripping, climb stairs more easily, and maintain a smooth, stable gait. They even reduce strain on your lower back by keeping your pelvis properly aligned. These muscles might be small, but the impact they have on your mobility and independence is massive. Earlier in this video, we talk about the simple balance test that can reveal so much about your long-term mobility. Do you remember how many seconds I said you should aim to hold that position? Type your answer in the comments. I read every single one, and I'll reply as soon as I can. And listen, if you're not sure or you forgot, that's perfectly fine. just type the number 7. I'll know exactly what you mean. So now you've learned 4 movements that take almost no time at all, yet support every major pillar of strong, confident walking. Balance, coordination, leg strength, and hip stability. Each one plays a crucial role in how safely and efficiently you move through your day. The balance exercise teaches your body awareness and improves your stability. The heel-to-toe walk sharpens coordination and trains your gait to be smooth and controlled. The half squat rebuilds functional lower body strength, the kind you need for stairs, chairs, and everyday life. And the seated leg raise strengthens those overlooked hip flexor muscles that help you lift your feet properly and prevent tripping. The science couldn't be clearer. After 60, consistency matters far more than intensity. You don't need long workouts. You don't need complicated routines. What you need is a few minutes a day, repeated over and over until your body begins to change on the inside out. So here's my challenge for you. Practice these 4 exercises once a day for the next 14 days. That's it. 2 weeks. Write it on your calendar. Put a sticky note on your fridge. Set a phone reminder. Whatever helps you stay consistent. Then come back and tell me what you felt, what improved, and what surprised you. I truly want to hear from you. And before you go, tell me in the comments, which exercise are you starting with today? Your answer helps me create better videos for you, and it helps others in this community feel motivated too. If you found this helpful, please share it with a friend, parent, neighbor, or anyone over 60 who could benefit from safer, stronger movement. These tiny habits can genuinely change someone's future. Remember, aging well isn't just about adding years to your life. It's about adding quality to those years. More freedom, more confidence, more independence. And that's exactly what these 4 exercises help you build. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll dive into one of the most overlooked daily habits that quietly weakens your muscles after 60. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. Now stand up, choose one exercise, and begin. Your future self will be grateful you started today.